Hi guys. Okay, so fun facts. I just filmed a podcast. I'm going to put up this vlog first before I put up the podcast though. People have been giving me a hard time about not podcasting, and I am very sorry, but I will explain all in the podcast if you would like to watch that. For now, I am just going to say hi. You guys are our patrons, so you guys are extra special to us. Seriously, you mean so much to us. So I'm just gonna hang out with you guys for a little bit and do some knitting. Working on the sweater again. You guys, I have been a mess. As you can see, I am wearing the pumpkin hat. I think I'm saying that right. I have to double check, but it is the hat that I posted about a little while ago. It is not completely finished because I want to add, and I probably have hat head now, I want to add a button here, woven using this yarn, the leftovers from this yarn. So we are going to be doing that. Hopefully when I create kits I can include a little washer to do that. So all you will need is like a darning needle, the washer that I provide, and the instructions that I'm going to give. And yeah, no, I've been just wearing this because it's super cute and it's super comfy. I love how this doubled brim just hugs your head, so it doesn't feel like it's falling off. Yeah. So we're getting fencing put up. I think they're coming later next week. We're doing a perimeter fence. I talk about this in the podcast, so I don't know. I talked about a lot of stuff that's going on in the podcast, but yeah, I guess I'm just gonna talk to you guys a little bit more I don't know, chill. I feel like I put on a little bit more of a like host attitude when I podcast, so I'll just chat with you guys. This sweater I have been really not, oh man guys, I've been so bad about knitting lately. I have been winding a lot of minis. Speaking of which, those are going in the shop shortly. I don't know if you're going to watch this video before I put those in, but you will have early access to that as patrons. And they will be all those pure happiness tonals that are in the shop, all 9 of them in a 10 gram set, so 40 yards, and a 20 gram, which is like 86 yards about, sets. So that is exciting, but other than that, I've been winding so many Advent minis. Man, it's been a lot. I have been learning Korean. So that is something that I've been doing while I wind minis, is I listen to Korean lessons. I think I've mentioned to you guys before, but I am a huge like K-drama fan. I don't know why. They are just so well written. And Crash Landing on You, which is on Netflix. If you don't mind subtitles, I highly recommend that show. That is probably my favorite show that I have ever watched in my entire life. And like, it's a romance, it's a drama, it's action-y at points, it's hilarious. It is just, it's all the things. It is beautiful. I love the actors. It's incredible. But yeah, so I also read a lot of Korean webcomics. You guys, I'm a huge nerd, but they're just so well drawn and written, and as an artist, it's just so, oh, all the birds are getting excited. I don't know, I can't really draw comics, so it's just something that always just like, it impresses me to no end. So I would like to be able to read the Korean ones because there are way more in Korean than have been translated to English or have been created in English. So that is another another reason why I want to learn. Also, I mean, I just love Korean fashion and all of that stuff. So that is something that I have been learning. Don't ask me to speak Korean for you right now because I will totally butcher it, but I can say hello, 안녕하세요. But yeah, I'm the only one who is learning it. Queen Bee watches some of the K-dramas with me, but she is not, she's not really one who's always wanted to learn languages. I think she wants to learn, but she just says that she's not good at it, which I feel like you can learn anyway. Excuse me, I'm not going to go by your nest. Yeah, I don't know why it's yelling at me. But yeah, oh yeah, I clearly filmed outside for the podcast, which is wild, but I've told you guys before that it's super windy here, and you have seen plenty of vlogs now where the wind has been blowing and you can barely hear anything. Today it's like so chill and breezy, and I'm like, I'm filming outside. I have always wanted to film outside, and it is super cute here. Like, look at the cute barn behind me. So that is awesome that I finally got to do this. Thank you. Thanks for shutting up. But yeah, so I filmed a podcast outside. That was kind of impromptu. I was just going to make a vlog, and then I did my makeup a little bit. Literally, I put on mascara, a little bit of eyeshadow, and like just some padded on concealer under my eyes. And a little bit of a lip tint, and I was like, man, I put in all this work. It literally took me 10 minutes, okay? And I'm like, I put in all this work. I got a podcast today. I'm not going to have this energy to put on this makeup again. So here I am, all dolled up. I'm joking. It's not even anything. But yeah, so pandemic-wise, we have not really been going out. We went out to get the sheep that I showed you in a video, the last vlog earlier this week. We went and got the sheep before that. We go occasionally to the grocery store. We don't go in, we just pick up the groceries. Queen Bee and Sen Bee have gone into Menards, which I don't know if you have that. We have that all over the country, but it's like a Home Depot. It's kind of like a Home Depot. It's not quite as industrial as Home Depot. It's I don't know, it's hard to explain. But I would say it's most like a Home Depot. And so we don't really go out. We don't really do anything. We don't eat out. I did not mention this in the podcast, but a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, we had, I guess the whole county had like a garage sale thing going on. So there were just garage sales in every little town, and every like little house along the main highway. And we stopped at a few of them, and do you guys know what I got? I got a knitting machine. All right, I have not tried working it yet, but the lady had, she had some knitting and like this really old pattern and some alpaca blend. And she said that she wasn't able to finish it because she got arthritis in her hand. And I was just like, yeah, but like I don't need another project. And it was like some kind of vest thing. And I was just like, you know what? I don't need extra yarn. I really don't need it. And she was like, you know, she was almost trying to talk me into it. It was only $1, but I didn't need it. And she basically was like, well, like, so do you really like knitting? And my mom, Queen Bee, is like, who we are now going to call Bumblebee, apparently. She wants to switch her name to Bumblebee because that was her original name. So Bumblebee said, yeah, we have a knitting business. And the woman was like, really? And she's like, yeah, we have a yarn business. We, you know, dye yarn and sell it, and that's what we do. And we have a farm as well where we make, you know, product from the animal's wool and everything. She's like, do you have a knitting machine? And we were like, no. And she says, do you want my knitting machine? And we're like, well, what? And I was like, yes. And Queen Bee's like thinking, like, is this some kind of broken Bumblebee? Bumblebee's like, this is some kind of broken knitting machine, like, what the heck? And so she's like, I mean, does it work? And the woman's like, yeah, I just don't use it anymore. And she brings down this knitting machine, and I will have to put in the description what knitting machine it is. It's a Singer. I think it's like a 6. Actually, I have my phone on me, so bear with me a minute. I looked it up on eBay, and for a used one, it is like $650. And I was like, okay. I didn't look it up until after I bought it, but she sold it to us for $25. It and all of her knitting machine books, a few samples that she had knit on it previously. Let's see. It is a 360K. I suppose the K stands for knitting, but yeah, a 360. So it is like, I don't think they make that model anymore, but she says it has all the parts. I have not had room to set it up right now. Once I stop having to wind as many minis for Advent, I'm going to be able to make room and set it up in the studio, and I'm super excited for it. Mostly because well, somebody asked me if we're going to be making swatches with it. I'm like, yeah, I guess I can make swatches, but honestly, I just want to make all the fingering weight sweaters. Like, why wouldn't I? I love knitting by hand, but let's be real, I don't have as much time for knitting as I would like. Having a knitting business forces you to do, or wool business forces you to do other parts of the process. You don't get to actually knit that often, or I'm too exhausted to even think about it at the end of the day. So I'm super excited to play with that. I know that Amy from Stranded podcast, she had her friend who, I think her friend Skandier, I think that's the friend she was talking about, had knit her most of a boxy sweater on her knitting machine. And I'm like, boxies for everyone. I can just do that. I mean, it's way easier to do all of that knitting on a machine, and then you just do the shoulders shaping and like the arms and what have you by hand. That's fine. Like, I don't care. So I'm super excited about that. And another thing that we were doing, and this is kind of becoming a long vlog, but after this I will wrap it up because I just want to chill out here. I want to Kitchener a toe on one of Queen Bee's socks that she's just finished. And yeah, but another thing that I'm planning on doing, and I might need you guys as patrons to be a little patient with me, but I'm going to be doing a video series on processing wool. So I am going to use our Shetland fleeces from our 4 little Shetland yearlings. So this was their baby fleece, like it'll be their nicest fleece that they'll ever produce. They're very small fleeces, but I want to just do a little series on a more primitive, like historical breed, how you would process that by hand and go from the beginning to the end and spin it all as well on a spinning wheel. And so it's going to be several videos. I'm going to break them up into a process. I'm going to give early access to you guys as patrons, but I'm going to publish them on YouTube as well. So that's going to count as vlogs, I guess, because I just don't have enough energy or time to, I mean, if I have more time, I'll do a little vlog here and there, but that will be those monthly vlogs will be, or weekly vlogs will be those. And, oh, that's, Sen's boyfriend. Anyways, I didn't even know he was coming over today, but, alright, so that is something that you guys can look forward to. I also want to eventually do like a spinning series, and I want to start doing some basic like knitting tutorials, just because, and crochet tutorials, just because why not. I feel like I recommend people to go on YouTube and learn techniques a lot, and I would like to at least be able to reference somebody in particular. Like, I can always, you know, self-promote, but no, I mean, like, I feel like people are worried a lot about who they like support and who they learn from now, and so I know that, at least, like, I know where I come from, where I'm coming from with everything. So I know that if I'm recommending myself, I know where I stand on issues and stuff like that. Okay, maybe that's getting a little too into things, but I just like to try to keep things happy on the podcast and the vlog, just because we have to deal with so much in real life right now. And we're living and breathing it every day. I didn't talk about this on the podcast, and maybe I should have. I guess I want to talk about one last thing. But I'm going to talk about it here just because this is a vlog and it's a little more real. Our friend Tara Loy, who some of you know as the dyer behind Brew City Yarns, she was also a pattern designer, had a few patterns on Ravelry. She recently contracted COVID and died very suddenly from a blood clot. She went to get tested, and while they were awaiting results, so she wasn't even hospitalized, she died suddenly of a blood clot in her brain. And that has been throwing me off a little bit. This only happened a week ago. There is a fundraiser for her legacy, so all of that money goes towards her children. She has 3 children and a husband that she has left behind. Well, that she was taken from, I should say. And it's just been hard, and I didn't really want to make this like sad or anything, but it was just very, very sudden. I've known Tara for a long time. We've been Facebook friends for a long time. We weren't super, super close, but I mean, she was like, seeing her posts on Facebook, and when she used to post more frequently on Instagram, that was like part of my daily life. So in some ways it's just very real. We've been lucky. She's the only person I've known who has died from COVID. But yeah, wear masks. Try not to go out. I know that the government says that we can go out, but try not to, because this is taking people for no good reason. Like, just random people who are young. She was not that old. She was, I think, early 40s. And yeah, so please don't go out. And if you do, please wear a mask, because if you are a carrier, an asymptomatic carrier, if you're not showing symptoms yet, you could be taking somebody else's life. You could be taking somebody else's mom, or dad, or child. So, I recently spoke to a friend who, she was feeling like being forced to wear masks by grocery stores, because a lot of them are implementing that now, which I think is great. I, as a type 1 diabetic and Queen Bee being asthmatic, all of us bees have had to wear a mask every time we go out anywhere. If we even go into the post office and nobody is in the post office, we wear a mask, because there could still be particles in the air. It is not that bad. Cloth masks are very easy to breathe through. And my friend was just like, she's like, well, if I get it, I'm not worried. And I mean, that's not the problem. The problem is giving it to somebody else. Like, you might have it, and okay, if you're fine, good, but somebody else might not be fine, and even if they're wearing a mask, it doesn't protect them as well from you as if you are wearing a mask protects them more from you. Anyways, they are barking at Sarah's boyfriend. On that note, sorry, I didn't mean to give a lecture. I'm just very sad, and sometimes, like, you know, if even one person sees this and wears a mask, that will be good. But, yeah, so I'm gonna go and work on Fiverr now. I'm going to be getting clubs out. July's clubs. Go away, little gnats. I'm gonna be getting July's clubs out hopefully Monday. I have to make the labels and stuff, but everything has been dyed for Tour de Tolkien and Hogwarts Order of Magical Makers. So I just have to make the buttons, get the buttons together, make the tags and the labels and the extra little sheet that goes in there that explains the colorway and thought behind it in the process and blah 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 blah, all of that fun stuff. And what else is going on? I have to get the update up tonight. What time is it? Oh yeah, I have to do that soon. Who ordered from? Oh, 2 people ordered from Illinois. Okay, that's weird. Usually we don't get people from our own state ordering. Well, that's exciting. But yeah, no, I have a couple hours to do that and get that up for you guys ASAP. Make the Patreon post right away so you guys know that those minis are going into the shop if you are interested in those minis. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you for being a patron. Seriously, and I am sorry about the lecture. It's just very real. It's just so real right now. So please stay safe. Seriously, please stay safe because you guys are super awesome. If you can avoid getting it, even if you're not worried if you get it, just avoid getting it. I mean, why would you want to get it? Nobody wants to be sick. So, yes, take care. Sorry, I feel weird that I gave you guys a lecture. Whatever, it is what it is. And I will be posting this soon, and this is going to be a rather long video, I suppose, compared to most vlogs. But yeah, also I'm going to be trying to podcast bi-weekly. I really am. I'm going to be doing a lot more filming. I'm going to be doing my makeup more often. Okay, guys. On that note, this weirdo is signing off. Love you. Take care. Bye.